Hello and welcome to Let's Run Facebook Ads, the podcast with myself, Nick Boddington, and my co-host, Matt Rubus. Here we're going to share insider information about Facebook ads. But as you know, it's not just about running the ad, it's what happens after. So we're going to look into the funnels, the e-commerce, email marketing, lead generation, and much, much more. Everything you need to run successful Facebook ad campaigns. Enjoy. Hello and welcome back. I'm Nick Boddington, and today I'm joined by my co-founder James the Urquhart. I've got a castle, as Matt is away. James, say hello to everyone.
What a lovely introduction.
Go on, say hello.
Hello. Well, that was what I said.
No, I know, but say hello to everyone anyway, because they're waiting for you to say hello now.
Hello, everyone.
Episode 20. This week we'll be discussing keeping your ads simple, especially with large budgets. Now everyone can actually see how our day-to-day goes. This is basically normal. Intro music.
The Urquhart who's got a castle.
Okay, is that how we're starting this podcast? We're going to just give each other some crap for a minute.
I think so.
I'm going to have to put the camera on and look at you, because it's just...
That's an interest. Have you not got...
No, I've got... Yeah, you are. And I was just looking at the script, my intro script. Even though people think, what, you actually need an intro for that? You actually need to write down what you're going to say? Yes, I do. That was take 5, by the way, with a script. James was tapping away. So anyway, yeah. So today, we're going to talk about keeping your ads simple. After we've talked about, for 30 seconds, James's castle. James's surnames are Urquhart, and for the last 12 years... all he will say to anyone, oh, that's an unusual name. Well, it's a castle in Scotland. I own a castle in Scotland. Do you want to tell us about it?
I go for them. I've got a castle, and I'm king of that castle. It's a fact. Urquhart Castle. Boom.
Yeah. So that's basically his thing. But we've come across a few people lately who know someone called Urquhart. So it's quite a rare name.
Special.
Well, it is kind of strange because people look at it and go, how do you pronounce it?
Or spell it.
So this is probably the thing I've heard more in my whole life working with you in 12 years than anything else. Urquhart on nearly every single phone call.
To be fair, let's get it right there. Every time we hear Boddington, all I hear is, yes, like the beer. So
yeah.
It swings around the bounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boddington, yeah. Air to Boddington beer, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Anyway,
should
we give these people what they're listening to now? They may have got bored. They might be laughing, but they probably got bored. Right, so keeping your ads simple. Now, there's a reason we thought of this podcast today, because in an hour and 10 minutes time, we've got a pitch with a very, very large company that we're already working with, and we've already got their cost per acquisition down from £580 to £22. Mic drop. So, but we've got a pitch for the next part of the campaign, which has got a major credit card giving them money as well. So these are two pretty major companies that we're pretty confident about. But so it's not like we're pitching for the business because we've already got it. But the MD is coming on the call along with another director, and they want to see basically what we're planning on doing with the large amount of money they're giving us. Because we did as a team basically say, and even some of the people at the client end, we did say, well, can we just, you give us the money and we'll just do what we're good at? And they said, well, yeah, that's all great. We do have trust in you, but there are some people in the business who actually do want to see what you're going to do when you spend the money. So that's what we're doing at 3:30. But we've been going through, so I've spent the last few days building the ads, the media manager, haven't I? And that's what's created this podcast, because Matt and I, you guys know Matt well, I called Matt up and said, Matt, can you have a look at this media plan that I'm doing? So we're looking at a top of funnel, and we're looking at middle of funnel, and we're looking at bottom of funnel. The bottom of funnel is what's already running for the client. So we've scrapped off top and middle because they haven't got enough budget for the amount we're collecting, which is fine because it's an acquisition policy. We're trying to build customer applications into to create new customers. And the bottom of funnel on its own was working really, really well. I'll tell you how we're going to do that. So this is why we're sort of talking about this, keeping things simple. So not by just looking, if your client or if you yourself are running Google Ads is a great way to actually get traffic, warm traffic, because people are searching Google. they're seeing that particular ad, Google ad, PPC, and they're clicking through to the website. So they're coming through quite warm because they're actually looking for this product. What we're doing then is using the bottom of funnel to piggyback winning customers. So when someone goes to stage 1 of the application form, anyone who doesn't submit it, we retarget with a Facebook ad saying, hey, we saw you were looking at this, but you didn't finish the application process. Click here to carry on. And we've got it down from £580 per new customer down to 22. When the old agents we were doing with, we're doing all this stuff with top, middle and bottom of funnel, which is fine, what we've got to look at next in our strategy, but they weren't setting it up right and things like that. And that's why it was costing them so much. So that's what this conversation has come about. James has been listening so far to my now 5-minute intro, but it's really about James was looking at this plan, and so was Matt. And I suppose I was going too far into it by going, okay, if we've got people coming at the top of funnel and we're going to use video, we're going to use carousel, we're going to use audience, we've now got a load of stuff to build up lookalikes based on customers, lookalikes based on different stages and URLs of the website, etc., etc. I was starting to fall into the place of overcomplicating a strategy based on the fact that they're giving us a large amount of money over a shorter period of time. Matt reminded me at the time, why are you overcomplicating it? Why don't you just keep this simple? And I was like, wow, yeah, you're completely right, because he's not the one on the account and I am, you're suddenly then thinking, okay, I need to impress this client. Or if you're doing this for yourself and you've got large budgets, you're thinking, you don't have to turn into a magician to do this, do you? At the end of the day, it's about keeping things simple, and the simple things usually work. And we can get, as ads media buyers in Facebook, there are so many different things that we want to do to retarget and blah, 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 that we just want to try absolutely everything because we want to test everything. But it all comes down to keeping this simple. James, you want to say something on this?
Are you sure you can?
Yeah, no, you go for it now.
With this particular client, I think because they've suddenly got access to a lot of money, and this is some serious cash, isn't it?
Mm.
I think they want to suddenly see that complexity because they feel it's needed and it's required. And it touches on a bit what Liv spoke about on the podcast a couple of weeks ago in terms of the client wants to see X, but we need to do Y.
Yeah.
Because all we're doing is trying to hit those KPIs.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, isn't it? Because, this particular client, they're big blue chips, they're multinationals. And, like I said, they've got this pot of money and they're like, okay, well, we want to see X and see this going and we want to see all these little, these really, really intricate ads. Well, they're not needed because all it's going to do is waste a percentage of your money, which is only going to affect your app download KPI, which is obviously which we're measured on. So it makes no sense to, even though yes, you can, but we've tested those complexities anyway. We've already gone through that stage.
Mm.
Now, in a way, they're sort of at that scaling stage in a weird way, aren't they? They're not scaling as such, but they've suddenly got access to money. We've done the learnings. Now we're like, well, okay, let's now use those learnings and just scale.
Yeah, because it's interesting, is it? Because they've also had another blue chip give them money towards it. We've got 2 KPIs we're going to hit now. So we've got our client who wants to get apps, and the donor, let's call them the donor, they want to get awareness. And what I've been trying to explain to the client this week is that, and it's going to happen again at 3:30, is we can't, because of the way we optimize, and the people listening to this podcast understand this now, is if you choose traffic, it drives traffic. And an example we've got from a van competition company that we did some ads for last week with a reasonably sized budget, $7,000 in a very short period of time is a decent amount of money really for someone testing something out. When we were optimizing for purchases, we were getting purchases coming through. What was it? Between £1 and £2.50 a purchase. As soon as we weren't hitting the KPIs, so the client, the agency that we're working with said to the client, we're going to change the KPI to link clicks because the client was still, wanted to create some awareness. So all we did was duplicate the ads from purchase conversion and put it into link clicks because that's what we needed now to get a KPI on. They got in 2 days, they got 4,600 link clicks. How many purchases? 0. Same landing page. Everything else is the same ad copy, buy this ticket. I mean, it was actually a free ticket. The first ticket was free. That's the crazy thing. It wasn't like that, spend £2.50 on a ticket. The first ticket was free. and 4,600 people who clicked that link to come through to the ad didn't even purchase a ticket. So what we're trying to explain to this client is, if you want awareness, if your donor wants awareness, and I've got stupid money to do that, I can go and get that for the whole of the UK. I can make every single person in the UK see that booking 3 times a week. But you're probably not going to get any apps because I'm telling Facebook to go and get awareness. But on the other end of the scale, the bottom, middle, and the bottom of funnel, I am going to do purchase conversions. So it's measurable from a different way. So they're going to have to see it. They can't see it as a lump sum of money is going to get X amount of apps. Though I have done the figures, and even at app cost over the whole budget, it still will only be £38 per app.
Is that what it's going to come out at?
Should do if all the figures hit.
Okay, well that's a mic drop.
A complete mic drop. So we'll let you know in 3 months' time where we are and whether we did it or not. Which I think we will. I think we will.
There's no reason why not.
Even if I get the bottom of funnel doing what we've been doing for 7 months and none of the rest of it makes any money, it's £45 an app.
This one's a hard one though, isn't it? And obviously, about complexity and simplicity is you've got sort of, like I said, you've got the donor who's got one KPI, you've got the client who's got another one. Very hard to keep both parties happy if we didn't have the volume of budget that we have. If this was one of our smaller clients that had a couple of quid here or there, it'd be bare on impossible, wouldn't it, to do both?
Yeah. Oh, completely. Well, we go on a weekly call with this client every week, don't we? And
yeah.
until sort of beginning of January or last year, every 15-minute call was like, oh, what else can we try? Well, nothing. Because I haven't got any more money. You're not giving me any more money. I'm not going to switch off something that's getting you £22 of customer acquisition.
In truth, we've got a lot of customers like that. When you look at, lead gen and e-com, there's some that spring to mind. The boiler guys. They've got an ad now that's been running for a while. The client loves to come up with ideas, which is amazing. But the reality is, there's no point changing it.
Well, that's a keep it simple one, isn't it? Completely.
Well, it is, because he's got a cost per lead that he needs to get to. So he needs to be under £50 per lead. Because his conversion rate is about 66%. He knows how much it takes to fit a boiler or the green home green scheme, whatever it's called. He knows where he needs to be. Now, we're at the moment, like, what, £25, £30 a lead?
25, yeah, this week.
So, he's got some amazing ideas, but it's really hard to sometimes go, well, actually, no, there's no point, because if that idea you've got doesn't work, and this one is very, very localized, it's just going to kill our cost per lead. Yeah.
Well, actually, explaining how this one works will help some of the people listening to this, because I'm sure there's people listening to who are doing like localized lead gen, and this is a great one because you can overcomplicate this, and the winning formula is to keep it simple. So if this client is basically it's just literally a couple of postcodes in the UK, and every 4 weeks the frequency starts going up into the 3s and 4s, because I think we're talking like 1.2 million people or something like that, and he's throwing half decent budget at it every day. 150 quid a day maybe they're spending. So we're getting through frequency pretty quickly. Now, for all of you who are listening to this thinking, well, how do you, if your frequency starts going up but you haven't got any more people to go to, what do we do? And it's a really simple thing that works really effectively every single time we do it. And that is keep everything the same and just change your creative. So those people probably they're probably not reading the text. Even if they are reading the text, it doesn't really matter. The thing that is stopping them scrolling through their Facebook or Instagram, it's the imagery, the creative that is stopping them. So all we've done for this client is we run it for 6 weeks with this creative, same word, and all I did as the frequency started going up, the cost per lead started going up. I think we hit 55, didn't we? I think 2 weeks ago. It's like, okay, it's 55 now. We need to get this under.
It shot up a little bit, didn't it?
I literally duplicated the campaign, went into the ad level, asked the customer to send us some more creative. They gave us 4 more different types of creative. This time it was like a guy standing next to a boiler or whatever. And we put some text over the top of it. We inserted on dynamic creative 4 more images, took out the last ones, kept the copy the same, kept the headline the same, kept the landing page, URL, everything else the same, pressed publish within 2 hours, looked on 24 hours later, cost per lead had come down to £25 and it's running. We'll do that for another 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks when we see the frequency and the cost per lead go up slightly, get some more creative, add it in, duplicate the ad and go on and so forth. So for anyone so again, why that's important to this podcast, keep it simple. You don't need to start stressing about your ad copy. Remember, it's like email marketing, and James and I have got 12 years background in email marketing. That's how we got into this game, because it's about the data and the stats. Is that people will say to us, "Oh, I don't want to send an email every day. Oh, I couldn't send an email 3 times a day." Have you noticed that when you're buying from some of these very successful online e-com companies or whatever, there's one in this country called Wayfair. If you're in the UK, you'll probably know it, which is it sells housing goods, furniture, tables, pictures, all that sort of stuff. And you can pretty much get everything from it. And it's on the same, a lot of the stuff is on the same sort of level as IKEA. I ordered one thing, I probably hear from them 2 to 3 times a day. Now, a lot of people in email marketing will say, well, you shouldn't be I don't want to email that many people. They're going to get annoyed. Think about it. They're not going to get annoyed. James, you know this better than I do. What's an average open rate nowadays?
Well, for consumers, so I've got a nice little stat. I don't know if we can tell this actually. So a friend of mine used to work for Amazon, and he was in the doorbell section. Section? That's awful. Department. They would get no more than 2% open rate.
2% open rate? And what's the click-through on that?
I don't know. They didn't know what.
So ridiculous. So even if we gave it a good figure of 10%, that's 10 people out of every 100 that sees the email, opens it, and then let's work off a 1% click-through. So 1% of the 10% click-through. One person out of 100 people has clicked. So why are you worried about sending an email over and over again? Because you're trying to get to the other 99 people, not the one. And it's the same with impressions. We're all going through our phones, flicking through these things. If we've got bored of seeing the same ad, just change the creative. So that's one tip that comes from this podcast. Anyone who's into lead gen or anything like that, don't worry about overcomplicating things. Just change the creative. We do it for a lot of our clients. It works every single time, and we haven't lost any sleep. It's taken about 20 minutes. Clients got their cost per lead down again, and it's working. But
it's hard, isn't it? Because like Olivia said, when you've got a client, or when you're running your own ads, you look at these, cost per lead and go, okay, great, it's where it needs to be. But you've always got ideas.
Yeah.
But where do you start and where do you stop? Do you go, great, I've got an idea, this will definitely work, let's test it? And obviously, look, you've got to test, and we're a big believer, aren't we, of test and learn. But it needs to be seen as a different type of budget. It's a different budget on the side.
Yeah, and you could say, let's say, put 20% of your budget.
Yeah.
Just for testing.
But don't take it off the one that's working.
No.
Something we've had before, we with clients in the e-commerce space go, they've said, I know Olivia and you spoke about one of our clients in depth last time, but that one client who's legend, can we say, he's always got ideas, which is amazing. And he's trying to take budget then from something that's working away and putting it on something that we don't know that's working.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that, just put more budget.
Yeah.
And, if that's creating you a 6 ROAS or, cost per lead at £20.
Yeah.
Don't touch that. That one particular client that we're talking about, the lead gen, that their cost per leads are at 20, 25, £30. If their ad budget was only £15 a day, they're probably not going to get any leads, are they?
Yeah. But it's also the way I see it, if you can just have one ad, which is taking your business to another level, like that guy you're talking about, he's got one ad doing 6 ROAS. As far as I see it, not really any of the other ads that we've been doing for 8 months have overtaken that one ad doing 6 ROAS. Just keep on increasing the budget up and up and up and up on that one ad, and you're going to get to hit your goals. But what most people are doing is they're wanting to just try something else. As far as I see it, you can completely catapult your business with one ad that works, and it could be running for 5 years. If the audience is big enough and you change a few little things around here and there when you're getting the frequency up. And just keep doing that. And the other thing is, like Matt and I have always discussed when we've taken on a new ad manager from someone, when we won business or something, we've gone in and there's so much stuff running, and it's like, how do you even keep a tally on all this? You know, you go into an ad and there's like 14 ad sets, and then you go from the ad sets and there's like another 14, 28 ads on it, and the data's not being followed, and half of it's in learning limited, and they're spending £20 or $20 a day running effectively 28, nearly 30 different ads, when really you should be looking at £5 to £10 on each of those.
To be fair, Nick, if you cast your mind back to when we did an audit for a large telematics provider, look at the volume of ads that they had.
Oh fuck me! It took me like I was there for about 3 days a week, just bloody auditing the fucking thing.
It was a 10 grand audit. It took that long. It was absurd, wasn't it? But when you actually got down to the crux of it, and to be fair, our report was quite damning. There was some really good stuff in there, wasn't there?
Amazing. Well, we learned just from doing the report. They paid us to learn.
They did, yeah. But it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That agency or that internal team were just doing ads for ads' sake.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can have loads of ads. What you want to do is you want to go into an ads manager, if it's your own or you take one on. If you've got 20 ads working and they're all providing the cost per lead, the acquisition, the ROAS, whatever you're measuring KPI-wise, if they're all working, fantastic. But set them up one by one. Otherwise, you can't manage things. There's too much data to look at. When I go on my call with my guys and my team this morning, every morning after our sort of team tool, I go on with Faye, etc., and we just go over certain things, how my mind works with ecom, and Matt does the same. I'm wanting them to look at it. I'm just wanting them to understand the different things that we look at, and we can make very, very quick decisions. But if you've got loads of ads running, you're going to start tripping yourself up. We're only humans. We're not the Facebook computer. We're a human, and we can only do so much. And I think people just wake up next day and they've got another idea. So they turn on another ad or build another ad out. Yeah,
but also, Nick, look at Facebook. It's giving you tools. Should I say, that helps you. So you've got CBO, you've got dynamic creative, haven't you?
Mm.
They're doing half the job, really.
Yeah.
So you don't need ads upon ads upon ads.
They are making it. Well, that pitch we're doing today, when I brought up the strategy doc that we'd used, was it last June? Something like that?
Yeah, late.
And, to be lazy and not bloody duplicate work and start again, it's like, right, I'll open the last strategy doc and I'll change things around. It's actually all a new team, so no one's seen it before. So it's like, I'll go over this. And I was looking at it thinking, fuck, we weren't really even talking that much about certain things that we're doing now. So certain things we're doing now, we make it easier. So when I was looking at the 3 stages on that one, it's like, we don't even have 3 stages anymore.
No.
Because Dynamic Creative changed it.
Absolutely, but we won a new client yesterday who's being onboarded next Friday, and they've used an agency before, and I've made it clear is that, look, once we get to that stage where we've learned, you might only have 2 or 3 ads running. That's all you need.
Well, that house builder that they hear a lot about on this podcast, because we're having so much success with them. Matt's always like, beating him, putting himself out. I suppose he has to try and find some limelight over me. I think that's what Matt's insecurity is. I think Matt listens to me and looks at me and just thinks, Jesus, this guy's good. I know you think the same. So I think Matt's just like, oh, can I get something in something good that I did? Can I get something in there that I did that's really good? Okay, Matt, go on, speak up. Always the same client. It's like he's only got one. So,
thing is, he'll be listening to this now going, do you not remember that fucking ecom client I've had for 6 months that I've only just got working?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I had it working in the first 2 weeks. He started messing around with it. So basically, so that one, so we've been given more. So it's a house builder, developer, and they've got different sites across the UK. We tested out with 3. They've given us another 3. But I went into that the other day to see how it's going, and Matt's just done it very simply. Top of funnel, bottom of funnel. And we're beating the other agency that we're up against. We
are. We had the stats today, actually. We had the full stats from when we started, and on every site we're in the green, so that's good. But with that particular ad set, when you look at how it's been, so we kept it simple. Matt and I went through this strategy. It's like awareness, get people in the local area knowing that this house builder has got a new development here, and then retargeting, but optimizing for conversions. Now, when you actually look at where the leads have come from, weirdly, out of the 6 developments, or the 3 developments we looked at today, 2 ads per development. Where do you think the leads have come from? The one that's been optimized for freaking leads. It's not rocket science, is it?
You can't do any. Matt agrees. Going back a while, a couple of years, it was all about driving traffic, and we know that a lot of agencies still work off or just drive traffic. It's as if they don't even know what these objectives are, which is really embarrassing because they charge a fucking lot of money as well. But you used to be able to drive traffic and get and pick things off and get things from it. I just don't think you really can anymore. There are times that you can use traffic for, but every time we're using it heavily, and we put some decent budget on traffic and stuff like that now, we don't get the wins from it. It's there for a reason, but we don't get the wins. Very
few sales or leads come through those awareness campaigns.
Yeah.
Very few. Very, very few. And it'd be interesting with this, with this large campaign we're doing, a lot of the money is going towards awareness, and it's a lot of money. Again, this isn't,
God, I hope it works.
Yeah.
I'll be crawling to this microphone in 3 days. Matt will be like that. Nick, why didn't you tell us about it? While he's smoking a cigar, drinking a cognac.
Yeah. You look like me.
With his one client.
The hair's gone. It'd be interesting to see if some lead applications come from that awareness.
Yeah. And we're spending some serious whack on it.
What is it? 60, 70 grand?
Well, just at the top of funnel, I'm spending 60,000.
Should we have a little guess now? How many apps? Now, what have you put on the plan?
Oh, what have I put on the plan? Okay,
yeah,
here we go. Let's bring this up. I've put on the plan that top of funnel will bring them 24. No, actually, no, I'm going to say that again. I'm not spending that much at the top of funnel, sorry. I'm spending 18 grand at top of funnel. And I think they're going to get 24 customers from it. They're spending 12, 24. They're spending 37,000 at middle of funnel. Most of the money's at bottom of funnel because I know it works. Middle of funnel, I think they're going to get 360 clients. So I think that a lot of people writing this plan, and thank God we've got some history with them, so I've actually got some decent stats to look at. But when I'm doing those, it's like, unfortunately, that's it. I actually think the middle of funnel will probably be more because I'm actually optimizing for purchase conversions, not traffic. For the retargeting at middle of funnel, I'm going straight in for purchase conversions. I think I'm going to be right.
Okay.
So it'll probably be a lot more, but I'm keeping this conservative because I don't want my ass kicked. No. If it's more, I just get praised. If it's less, then if it's where it is, then it's fine.
I guess that ego needs to be massaged a little bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the bottom of funnel is exactly the stats that we have coming out of the last 8 months. And all in all, even with those 36,000 not getting anything, or the 18,000 not getting anything, we're still at £38 an application, which is still £640 cheaper than the last agency.
So top of funnel then, you're going to still go for 24?
Mm-hmm.
That's your guess. 18 grand. What's the CPM cost going to be? Few quid, couple of quid. Awareness, £2.50.
Oh,
let's just throw numbers at you because we know you love numbers.
I reckon. Looking at some of the old history, we're looking at £2 to £5.
I reckon we'll get a few more. Apps.
We might do.
I reckon you'll be...
The problem is, you've also got to remember, is James, that we've also got the new. And this is what people don't realise. We've got the new windows. We're not on a 20-day window anymore. We're on a 7-day.
No, I know.
So that's also going to hit it hard. But I'm confident over the whole thing. The thing is, it's running for 3 months, and we'll just have to change things around. But I'm not going to do 15 spreadsheets on things that I might change around. It's just like, this is the one. So that's the thing. If someone's writing a proposal for clients, one thing we've learned so far is the client just wants to see something. A good media buyer, like the way we do things, is that we know that probably after 1 week, even days, things are going to start changing. Where we've seen a lot of bad agencies working when we've taken over the ads manager is that they've literally built what I've just built. They'll build it out in ads manager. They'll stick on those budgets, put it on a 3-month timeline, press go, and leave it. And they'll come back in 3 months' time and go, oh, did we hit 3,000 applications? Oh no, we only got 60. This client went through that, didn't they? At £580. We beat their applications in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And they did, and they spent 45,000 in a month.
When you look back at those ads, again, just the complexity, it's just not needed.
No.
It looked great on paper, like it does, and in truth.
Because it confuses the client. Because it makes it look like you're doing loads of stuff. That's the other thing in this, keeping it simple. Because keeping it simple can kick you in the arse, and we know this because our clients say it is, they'll go in and they'll go, oh yeah, I know you're getting at 6 ROAS, you were doing this, but I had a look in Ads Manager and you've only done like 3 ads. I'm just wondering what I'm paying for, on a retainer. It's like, oh, the 6 ROAS on the growing your business or the leads that we bring into your business. You wouldn't have that without us. It's not like we go away and never come back. We're in your ads all the time. But if we don't feel, you used to have this real big beef that, and because you weren't in the tools, but your name is obviously in Ads Manager and all the ads managers for security purposes in case I get banned or whatever, is that you will see the ads being approved. And you would start saying at the beginning, when we first started this company, you'd be like, but have you not worked on so-and-so for ages? I haven't seen any approves. And I'm like, no, because I haven't set any new ads live. And you're like, oh, but then they're going to think we're not doing any work. Well, I don't give a shit if they don't think we're doing any work. We've grown their business. Whether I spend 1 month doing 2 hours work, but making them £20,000, it doesn't matter. It's there, but do you know what I mean? And that's the thing that clients find hard.
It is, because all I see is that I see that email. So like we all do, you set an ad live and it gets approved or it gets disapproved. And you get those emails. So I get the email coming into my inbox. I'm like, okay, Matt and Nick are actually doing some work, because in truth, guys, I don't really know what these two do. And it's like, okay, great, Matt's actually done something this month, we're on the 20th, but let's go again. And then I don't see anything for them for another 3 weeks or 4 weeks on that.
But the other thing is that when you're making changes in an ad, it doesn't have to go in for approval email. You won't get any. No. That's the thing. All these things.
No, and I understand that, but I look at it from a client perspective, and they go, "Oh, God, I got an email here. Oh, they must be doing some work on that today."
Oh, I only got one of these emails this month.
Absolutely, and what they don't see is they don't see us going into the ads every single day, because every single account on our roster gets looked at every day in some way.
Yeah.
And we go, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right, answer that, but they don't see that, and that's where from a front end where Liv and I.
Well, you have to manage their expectations at the same time. It's where an account manager becomes very good at their role in making sure that a client feels like they're getting what they're paying for, even though you're getting, because a client will very much fall very quickly into the trap of, I'm used to now making all this money, or I'm used to now getting all these leads. And greed, everyone's greedy. They want more and more and more. And then they think, well, I've been paying you this money. Why don't I get more? And it's like, well, yeah, we're always testing. But then it swings and roundabouts. The call I had yesterday to someone that's starting to work well, we're spending, 25 hours a month in their account? Some members of the team.
It's a lot.
They need to be spending a lot more than they're spending. So we're having that awkward conversation now. Mm. So it's not all, guys, I wish every single one was what we call business as usual, where it just runs, but they're not all like that. They take a while. Some take a real long time to get there.
Mm. But again, we've got, like with all agencies, we all should have our best interest at heart. And if we feel that ad is performing and it doesn't need to be touched because we don't want to complicate things, again, we're going to keep it simple for the client, because that's what's making it work for them, and they're going to make more money. There's no point us, pretending to essentially pretend to work and going, oh, I'll set this up, what's the point? Because we're just wasting their money.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no point. I'd rather an ad be tweaked twice a month than 15 times if the twice a month is going to get better results. Sure.
Exactly. That's how it needs to be driven. It needs to be driven on what results you're getting, not on the time the agency is going to be working for you. Because we see, going back to the house developer, when you compare our ads to their ads, look how many ads they're doing. We're doing one top and one bottom of each development, and it's getting better
Yeah, and
results.
it changes, and that changes per time, because we've got a sort of timeline per development. So every other week or however, it then changes creative and copy. But again, it's very simple. When we pitched this business originally, I said, look, we need to just simplify this. What you guys are doing at the moment, I personally feel it's too complex. I don't know what you're doing. When I look at your ads, I'm confused. Let's keep it simple. And touch wood. We've just been given another free development, which is fantastic. But they're all working.
How many have you got in total? 24, is it?
They've got 36 that are live currently.
36 different developments. Gosh,
Yeah.
big company, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're not small. They're not a small outfit by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, the cost per lead is where we need to be, and it's a lot less than the agency we're sort of going up against, which they're still using at the moment, which is great. But yeah, like you said, it's we've kept it simple and it's worked. And even for companies of that size and that ilk, we've kept it simple and it's working. We haven't needed to be special or keep changing stuff. It's just simple and it works. That's all we need to do. Media buyers, with you, Matt, and all the guys on the tools, you don't need it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. There's no need at all.
No.
So that's it. That's the end of that. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. Okay, well, we're going to get ready for our thing
Before
now.
we go, Nick, shall we
talk about our little other thing? Okay, so you've introduced. Well, do you want me to do the intro or do you want to do it?
You're a wordsmith, aren't you? So
yeah, I suppose.
And I know you love the limelight, so honestly, everyone look at Nick, please. Hear Nick. Guy, can't wait. Look at him.
I'm not arrogant though. I'm a nice guy.
Right, we've had
No. Oh, come on, because I don't want to create the people listening to this podcast think, oh, it's annoying me. I'm just, I'm just getting on with it. But
we'll get Vicky Stacey on.
After you've ploughed her with champagne, and then she can say, Nick's a little bit pretentious. I'm not actually, Vic. I had to put her in a place then. I have worked with Vic since I'm now 42, and I have worked with her since I was 21 years old. She is going to see more. I just like, occasionally I just some nice things. If I'm buying a loaf of bread, right.
Anyway, let's get going, because if I'm honest, I've just had a text from the orthodontist to go, you had an appointment at 2:30. I'm like,
okay, right. Well, you're late anyway, so that's not happening. So basically, the podcast is growing really, really well. We wanted to diversify slightly. So James and I are going to bring our own podcast to the podcast. So it's still going to be called the Let's Run Facebook Ads podcast, but within that we have got, what do we want to call it?
So it's going to be Let's Run Facebook Ads Extracast. Kind of. See what we did there? So it's not the weave. It's what I've done. There's no weave.
Okay. No, I've done nothing to do with it.
Yeah, zero.
Yeah. So it's Extracast, and that is basically, let's think of ITV1, and then we've got ITV2. So we're kind of watching what we're watching. Ballroom dancing, what's it called? Strictly Ballroom, Strictly Come Dancing. And then on ITV2, we've got, what's it called?
You do realise the people that listen to that, which I am staggered people actually listen to this, they understand the difference between, hey, I've got the main podcast. I mean, because just a little one on the side, which is just a bit of different content. We don't live in the third world, Nick.
I know. But what you need to really understand is the fact that you've called it Extracast.
Yes.
So what I'm demonstrating is that, like those TV programs, all they did was put extra on the end. And what I'm saying, you haven't done anything magical. It's not like you've sat there with your notepad writing down all these different podcast names, going, which one stands out? Let's Run Social Ads Extracast.
Arky over there. Optimize sales. God, you two sit on this, sit on here all week going, we're really good. Literally, all you've done is press a fucking button. There we go. Jesus Christ. So yeah, Extracast. There you go.
LRS Extracast. Basically, what's going to happen on these? We're going to have guests, aren't we?
We are. We're going to have people that have. We're going to have clients on here. We're going to have ex-clients on here, because we have lost a couple over the year since it's been going. And I just wanted to get a different spin on, I guess, Facebook ads from a different perspective, because you and Matt, you go into a lot of detail. And I think it'd be nice just to hear people that have, clients that, I think what'd be really nice is, the first guest is going to be Theo. I know Theo's up for
Yeah.
this.
Oh, he'll love
Theo's
that. You've just name dropped him, and he listens to these as well, and he'll just be like right now, he's got a little smile on his face, hasn't he? Right this moment, he's in his car, and he's just gone, oh.
Yeah. So Theo's going to come on. And
Mr. Santander of the Year, Santander Entrepreneur of the Year Award, 2020.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah, we won't mention that, actually.
Oh, he'll mention it. He'll probably pass me a piece of paper beforehand and say, this is how you introduce me.
Yeah, this is from my legal team.
Yeah.
So just be good, because he tried to run, he runs Facebook ads himself. He has done, he's got a marble company. So he's trying to get people that are going to redo their kitchens and essentially buy his marble.
Yeah. But his ads are simple. Like, there's hardly anything running on his account, but he got 5 leads in one day the other day.
Absolutely. And it's a high.
That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to run multiple ads. We're trying to get him leads and the right leads.
Yes. So Theo's coming on. And yeah, it's just a bit of like I said, just different perspective. You and Matt go into huge volume of detail, but I think it'd be nice to hear, other people's stories, why they actually went out to find an agency.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that get to that stage where like, God, I know I can do more with this now, but I'm not good enough like Nick. I really want to be like Nick on the ads.
Oh, if you're only listening to this, you can see these on YouTube. But if you're only listening to this, the sarcasm and the face pulling while he's saying that. I don't think... it's just been shit for 12 years, isn't it?
Yeah. So, they want to be like you. And rather than be like you,
don't want to be like you.
I want to speak to him. So they become a client for that reason.
Does Jess want you to be like me as well?
God, no. God, no. What makes me laugh is with these podcasts is Matt comes across, I've told him this, so elegant.
He's so articulate, isn't he?
He honestly, and when I listen to this on a Thursday when I walk the dogs in the morning, I just hear you and then him, and it's just like,
chalk and cheese.
I
I do speak well. I can be when I choose to. I can speak well. Matt explains things in a really good way, doesn't he?
Effortless. He glides. Yeah. He's like a footballer that glides.
Yeah, he is good. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah. So that's the extra cast.
He'll be on next week. But yeah, that's extra cast. So how often are we going to do these, James?
So it's twice a month.
Yeah.
One every 2 weeks. Like I said, the first one, Theo is booked in, so he's looking forward to coming on.
Is this an extra cast? Are we going to label this as an extra cast? No, just standard.
No, because that's not fair on Matt. This is Matt and yours little pod, isn't it? So I can't.
Are we just going to have guests on, or are we going to talk about like agency running stuff as well?
I guess we could do.
It's depending on the listeners, because unless they write into us and say this is what I do, we can get a spreadsheet on how many people listen to it.
We did have a question actually from a guy at Ring who's quite up at Ring, and he wanted to know how you would use TikTok and then Facebook at bottom of funnel.
Don't know.
So that's something for you and Matt to pick up on your next pod.
We've got a client who does that.
Hannah, yes, we do.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's
She's actually gone to 7 to 15 ROAS, higher than it was when we were doing top of funnel and middle of funnel, and she promotes on Instagram and TikTok organically. Sets herself 45 minutes a day to push her baby products, which like baby carriers and stuff, on TikTok and stuff like that, driving traffic to her website. We've got £300 a month working at bottom of funnel, showing the products that those people are looking at, and she's doing 7 ROAS this month, and in September, October, November, December she did up to 17 ROAS on 300 quid spend. Unbelievable. So there you go, that's the question that's answered.
So essentially just use it with traffic, mop up with Facebook ads.
Yeah, organically, but you need to be on it. You can't just go oh shit, yeah, I better go and post on TikTok, I forgot to do it for the last 5 days. Like 45 minutes, an hour a day, even if your business has to have someone doing it, and really just start pushing it out. It's not going to happen overnight, but that's what she's doing now, and it's great momentum. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I mean, 7 ROAS, that's a bad month now.
Well, the Holy Grail is 10. Something that when you guys talk a lot, and I know we get some fantastic results, but the holy grail for Facebook ads is 10 ROAS. If you're getting to that, you are, you're in a place that you should be happy.
Yeah.
I know we go.
Oh, you can, and then you can catapult your business using one ad.
Can you imagine doing 10 times return?
This is right. So this is what I've said to the team when we've got clients that are moaning about that sort of return. Not moaning, but trying to, going back onto keeping things simple. Oh, I want to do this other ad now. I want to do this other ad out. It's just like, if you were wanting to invest money, and someone said to you, "I can get you 10 times your return," the whole planet would be investing in it.
Oh, Nick, it's like
Warren Buffett would be like, "Where do I sign? How much money do you want?" 10 times.
I tell the team, don't I? I like a little flutter at the weekends on on the football. If I could guarantee myself 10 times every week,
you'd remortgage the house and just throw it all in.
Oh,
And we've got clients who've been doing that for 3, 6, 12 months. That's it. Just plow, go to the bank, borrow money, just keep piling it in. And we're not just going to do it like we'll do it properly and use the algorithm, but we can. I mean, there's some accounts that Faye and I are working on that she sort of inherited, and I go over them with her every day. And I have gone from £20 a day and jumped up to £50 a day, gone in the next day, and it's still doing what it needs to do. So, sometimes the rules of the algorithm, how you scale, yes, they're there and we have to bear them in mind. But sometimes I make an executive decision of just go for it, just do it. And it works. Because it's just working so well.
You've kept it simple.
Moral of the story.
Which is what all this podcast is about. Keeping it simple.
Yeah, exactly. Right, should we wrap it up?
Let's go. Nick, it's been an absolute joy today.
Love it.
Honestly.
Love talking to you. God, I can't wait until we're in the office together again.
I know. Seeing your face and, and hearing you is just, honestly, it's mind-boggling.
I know. Well, it's Friday. You're going to be right for the weekend.
What do you mean?
Because you're not going to see me till Monday.
Oh, no, I've got YouTube. You're just constantly on the back.
Do you want to tell everyone what the screensaver is on your phone? So he's actually got my phone. He's actually got I'm on his screensaver when I ring.
Genius. So yeah, if you just ring me constantly or YouTube, we're fine.
Okay.
Or I'll go on his phone.
Huh? You what?
Don't worry, let's just wrap it up now.
Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. See you on episode 21. Say bye, James.
See you later on.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us again today. If you want to find out more, please head over to our socials at Let's Run Social, where we share daily content. And please feel free to drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you, and any questions that you would like answered, we can do that here on the podcast.